Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, Võ Văn Chánh, has just signed the issuance of Decision number 1952 on approving the outline of the Sustainable Agriculture Development Program of Đồng Nai Province from 2020 to 2025. The program was assigned to the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development to lead the implementation. Objects of the application are farmers, farm owners, cooperative groups, cooperatives, and local businesses. The duration of this program is 8 months from the date of issuance. The mission of the program is to access resources related to sustainable agricultural development in the province, evaluate the situation and forecast related to sustainable agricultural development, solutions for sustainable agricultural development up to 2025. The objective of the program is to guide and direct the development of agricultural production in the coming time to develop an agricultural economy in association with the development of society and environmental protection. At the same time, the farm sector must promote favorable conditions toward building modern agriculture, proactively responding to the impacts of the climate change and the requirements set out for sustainable agricultural development. According to a report from the Ministry of Finance, by the end of May, localities have issued decisions to approve the list of people facing difficulties due to the COVID-19 epidemic, with a total funding of about 12,100 billion Vietnamese đồng. The data collected from the State Treasury in 63 localities showed that by the end of May 29th, localities have withdrawn money from the Treasury to support 8.98 million people with a total of 9,418 billion đồng. In the context of the epidemic, the budget spending tasks in the 5 months of the year are quite large. Specifically, the Strength Budget made a provision of 2,800 billion đồng to the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Defense, and the Ministry of Public Security. Nearly 180 billion Vietnamese đồng was temporarily granted to 7 localities to deal with COVID-19. The central budget also provided 530 billion Vietnamese đồng for 9 localities in the Mekong River Delta to prevent and combat drought, water shortage, and saltwater intrusion. 339 billion Vietnamese đồng was sent to some areas to implement policies to prevent and combat African cholera and restore production after natural disasters and epidemics. Biên Hòa Industrial Zone Trade Union recently held a ceremony to commend more than 60 labor union officers in 2020. These are enthusiastic, creative labor officers who are at the forefront of emulation movements and activities of the unions. At the commendation ceremony, the Standing Committee of Biên Hòa Industrial Zone Trade Union called on all official and union members to continue to promote the achieved results, continue to renovate, improving the quality of union, striving to realize the goal, accompanying enterprises for stable jobs for the legitimate rights of laborers. Attending the ceremony, Vice Chairman of Provincial Labor Confederation, Mr. Hồ Thanh Hồng, highly appreciated the efforts of trade union officials. Thereby, it is desirable that each union official needs to show a higher responsibility role, firstly in supporting and encouraging the thought of workers to overcome difficulties caused by the COVID-19 epidemic. On June 13th, thousands of French people took the streets to protest in a series of large cities such as Paris, Lyon, Montpellier to protest against racism and police brutality. The largest protest took place in Paris at a call of a Adama Committee, the movement that was born after the death of a young African-American, Adama Traoré, man who died in custody after being restrained and apprehended by police. Protesters gathered at Republic Square and then marched across the 2.5 kilometer stretch to Opera Square. In a statement on June 12th, the Paris Police Department cited that the protest was illegal because all activities gathering over 10 people in public were prohibited during this time. The police department also ordered the shops on the expected itinerary of the protesting group to close to avoid smashing and looting. The Federal Ministry of Health of Germany said on June 13th that Germany, France, Italy, and the Netherlands have signed an agreement with pharmaceutical group AstraZeneca to guarantee the supply to the EU of 300 million doses of a possible coronavirus vaccine. It is expected that the order of nearly 400 million vaccines will be completed by the end of 2020. The German Ministry of Health said that the contract related to the development project of a COVID-19 vaccine called AZD1222, which is researched and developed by AstraZeneca and Oxford University, is currently being tested in a big study. German Federal Health Minister Jens Spahn said that the coordination and quick action of countries' members would benefit EU citizens during the crisis. That is the end of the news today. Thank you for tuning in.